Chris, hello.
G'day, Heather. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you going to change your mind on this?
Yeah, look, I'm going to repay the entitlement that I've just received this week, actually, since becoming Prime Minister. So I'll actually, I'm clear it's become a distraction. I'm not interested in that. I've seen the reaction today as I've been down in Queenstown, and I'll actually not take the entitlement going forward, and I'll actually pay it back since I became Prime Minister. The problem is this, is that, typically the House has been, we know the House has got long-standing, repairs and maintenance issues, and we're trying to fight. We had a report done independently under the previous Prime Minister, Chris Hipkins. It suggests there's a lot of investment needed in Government House. It's a 160-year-old house. Obviously, it's very difficult for us to think about how we spend that money, but frankly, we're trying to find a way to work our way through that, and I would ideally love to live in Premier House. It would be great, and that's the intention. But look, given this is distraction, I want to stay focused on the big stuff that matters. So, okay. Yep, I'll repay it. The allowance only came into my bank account this week, actually, since I've become Prime Minister. They paid it out. So I will reimburse it back to when I became Prime Minister.
So how much are you paying back?
Well, I think it's $13,000 that has been paid into my bank account, and so all the allowance that I've received since I've become Prime Minister, I'll pay that back.
And what about, were you also claiming it when you were just an MP?
Yeah, well, the way it works is that it's part of the remuneration. The remuneration.
Oh, no, I know how it works. I mean, you're totally entitled to it. But are you intending to pay that back as well, or is it just the prime ministerial salary?
No, because I think in opposition, I actually didn't have the technical option to live in Premier House, right? I mean, obviously, as Prime Minister, technically it is an option to live there, despite the fact there's a lot of repairs and maintenance that are needed. So I'll pay it back to what I received since becoming Prime Minister. And as I said, I just don't want it to become a distraction. Ultimately, my intention is I would love to live in Premier House. We're trying to find a way to avoid spending millions and millions of dollars on Premier House, which is what is needed to be spent there, in order for us to get it in a place where I think future Prime Ministers should live there, and I also personally would love to see it being Grand Central Station and being used every day, and it hasn't been. I don't think there has been a dignitary received there since 2017 Chris, or something, really. So there's a bit of work to do.
2 hours ago, 3 o'clock, you were standing there in front of the media saying that you absolutely were entitled to it, and you doubled down on it. What changed between 3 o'clock and now?
Well, I didn't double down on it. What I did is I did a press conference, and as I'm in Queenstown today, and as I came away from that, I thought, wow, man, people are pretty fixated on the allowance, and so you realised
how much of a distraction this was going to be in the last couple of hours, and changed your mind.
As I jumped in the car and left the press conference, I thought, well, what's going on? And then heard that you'd been talking about it and talked back this morning with Kerry and others, and I thought, right, no, we need to get it sorted.
Are you telling me, Chris? Are you telling me that Kerry and I changed your mind?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, we did some good for the country.
To you too.
Listen, Chris.
But no, look, I mean, the bottom line is this: is that it's a rather unique set of circumstances, because the way it works is that allowances are paid to MPs and ministers and prime ministers who live outside of Auckland. My primary residence is in Auckland.
Yep.
I would like to live in Premier House, but I can't, because we've got these renovation and repairs and maintenance issues we've got to work through, and we can't spend millions and millions of dollars.
No, Chris. Look, nobody is disputing that you're entitled to it.
No, I get it.
You are entitled, but this is my question to you, right? What about your political judgment? At the moment that you said, yep, okay, I'll take this, did it not occur to you what had happened to Bill English, that you were probably setting yourself up for a bit of trouble?
Well, no, quite different circumstances in terms of where someone's primary residence was deemed to be. And as you know, if you've got a primary residence in the Wellington or Greater Wellington area, you're not entitled to the entitlement, right? So it's only paid to people who are living outside of the Wellington area, because they have to come to work in Wellington and find accommodation. And either they pay for hotel rooms, or they rent or they purchase. And that's sort of what a lot of MPs and people do across the Parliament. But for me, look, well within the rights, well within the rules, standard part of entitlement that's set by the Remuneration Authority, all that good stuff. But look, frankly, it's just clear it's become a distraction, so I'll happily fund my own living costs.
Good call, I think. Chris, thank you so much for your time. I realise how busy you are, so I do appreciate it. That's Chris Luxon, the Prime Minister.